You were live now. You're live now.
Okay.
That scene in Get Out.
You just sunk in.
I went out of my body. I was in the fucking bedroom. I swear to you.
Criticize Usher for throwing dollars with his face on him. Do you know who that man is? Okay.
There we go. Hey,
yeah, there it is. I was just having a good time.
BBU, man. Hey, what you guys doing over there?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
White folks
Good times.
yeah. Still love,
Good
yeah.
times.
To this day.
To this day.
To this day. Business.
White people love yeah.
Time interrogations.
I ain't lying. 12 years old, that's what we were jamming out to at the baseball locker.
They still
Where's the
jamming out.
basketball? Give it to me.
I felt like I was going to go out there and hit a fucking home run. Little did I know.
Terrified. Yep.
Usher took help with that.
Like a superpower.
Wind it back.
Neuralink is like a superpower, or it's a
Little John got to
George Orwell's fucking fantasy.
All right.
Grab that right.
Why are you looking at me like that, man?
Trying not to roast you for going, all right.
Can I do that shit? Like, goddamn.
Grab one of those cups.
All right.
Oh, fuck you
No,
too then.
no, I don't
Goddamn
want to do
it.
it. I thought about it. I don't want to do it.
Spooky
Just grab
spooky
a
action
coffee
at
cup.
distance. Sounds like some demon shits on
A
that.
couple of them.
All that interested? I don't do demon shit lately.
All right, we're going to just go.
All right. And 1, 2, 3. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Brain versus the Universe.
Hey. There we go.
I forgot
There we
Ty
go.
does the catchphrase over here.
We got our
Jumping in.
makeshift ashtrays on the way.
Hey, we out here. This is Brain versus Universe, where the universe is not only stranger than we imagine, it is stranger than we can imagine.
Yes.
Right.
All
I'm sitting
right.
there, we got a new camera on, so I'm like watching. I'm going, you
Right,
know what?
yeah.
Let's see. Let me make sure this is working. Is he up to speed?
Yeah, we're all
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
on the edge, but
So
No,
what's
no,
going
we're
on,
all good. We're all
everybody?
good, man. We're all
Yeah,
good.
we're
All
all
good,
good. We're
John.
all good. So what's going on, everybody? My name is Victor. You have Cole to the left of me. Got my boy Ty to the right of me.
yeah, that's a fact.
Yes, sir. How's everybody doing today?
It was another good week. I would say I had a week where I flew a little too close to the sun.
Why do you say
Too
that?
close to the sun.
Yes. Or maybe a
But you're black.
more-
That's okay to do, right? You just get darker. That's it. You don't get skin
Hey,
cancer.
Working out on a Los Angeles rooftop for the last few months, I've gotten a few shades darker, absolutely. But I would just say I went a little faster than I should have. I was going quickly because that's the one way I know how to go.
Mm-hmm.
I try to, one foot in front of the other, never stop moving, ever forward, keep pushing. And I missed some stuff because I was rushing.
Right.
And I had to go back to the drawing board. But I'm thankful that now I have sense enough to go, something's not right with what I'm doing. I'm not getting the outcome I need. So let me go back to the drawing board and ask for help. And I did. And it worked. It worked like a fucking charm, too. Worked like a charm.
Drawing board, man. Hey, and listen, you reached a local maximum.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So had to adjust the local.
Right.
So it was a good week.
Now you're in a different zip code.
Hey, it ain't no joy. It's finna get ugly.
You're ready to launch.
It's about to change,
It's a
man.
fact.
Start your roll count.
Mhm.
T minus 10 seconds.
Yes,
9,
sir.
8. So, hey, guys, what's going on? All right, man.
How about you, Cole?
I guess I kind of, it's been a fast week for me. A lot of changes, so everything's good. It's just more adjusting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, things are moving quickly.
Yeah.
Things are changing, definitely.
And the
Yep.
world news seems to be
Yeah.
much like it was in 2020, where you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone thinks 2020 ended and all of a sudden the world started making sense again.
Yeah, no.
It didn't, guys.
Yeah.
It still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. It
Sorry,
seems
it
to be
doesn't.
making less and less sense, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be. To me, it's not. We just need to get out of this paradigm of thinking positively or negatively.
Mhm.
We need to just get on
Yeah.
Yeah.
and do what we got to do. I mean,
Agreed.
there's been worse times in human history, and they found ways.
That is
We're
the case.
acting as if we're completely useless now.
Yeah.
Oh my God! If only the people back in the day had to deal with what we got to deal with.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yep.
jeez.
All right.
All right, everybody. So, again, we're brought to you by Outside In Theater.
Yeah.
Go ahead, like, subscribe, as well as go ahead and be in the chat. If you think anything about our topics, go ahead and send us a little information. Let us know what you're thinking. All right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have a couple. We're gonna have next week. We have one more show.
Yes.
And then the next 3 weeks after that, we're gonna have a little hiatus.
Yeah.
We're moving apartments, and the studio might change just a bit. And I honestly think 3 weeks. 3 weeks to step away, maybe regroup, think about a few things.
Yeah.
And we got some,
Got some big things coming.
got some cool
We got
things on the way.
a lot of fire
yeah.
coming y'all way, man. It
Man.
ain't no joke.
We want to bring these things together too,
That's a fact. Yes.
and we don't want to get too close to the sun.
right. We
Yes.
cannot rush.
Right.
Patience
true.
while ambitious.
Yes.
Yes, you could be Prometheus.
Right.
You just don't steal.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
That's a fact.
Ask the gods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a fact.
Right.
All right. Here we go.
What you got for us today, Ty? What's your BVU?
So my brain says that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to have an undefeated season.
Can we start smoking now? Because undefeated. That's crazy talk, right?
Well, I mean, you're welcome to start smoking, but it won't change the fact.
Okay. The last time that almost happened.
Who-
Tom Brady
who
was
the
like
qu-
my age.
What was he? Was he our age?
He was
Really?
like 30. We're 28. He's definitely closer to our age than he is now. That was 2007. We're
2007.
2021.
So yeah, we were 14 years ago.
Yeah,
It's right at half of my life ago.
Mm-hmm.
right. That was a long time ago, man.
Long time.
He had Randy Moss,
Yeah,
and Antonio Brown. I don't know if you've seen this. He got in a fight today at practice.
he did.
Yeah.
He did. Won't matter.
Probably won't matter.
It's not gonna matter.
I mean, if we're being honest, Aaron Hernandez was killing people, and that didn't necessarily matter. I mean, sometimes the fruit's just sitting there, and you got to go, okay.
Complete tilt.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
There was that Aaron Hernandez.
That did exist.
And I loved how the Patriots just went, yeah, we don't know who that guy. The moment these cases opened up, they dropped in the next day.
Yeah.
They didn't even think for a second. They went, yeah, that explains what was going on.
Yeah.
That's why he kept on.
Aaron who? Who? Yo, I'll never forget watching that documentary and when Robert Kraft walked into that courtroom while Aaron Hernandez was sitting at the front. The way he looked at Robert Kraft, like, I don't know what that look was, but it was scary, man. Anyway, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by one Tom Brady,
Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.,
the god of football, as I like to call him.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady inspires so much loyalty in everybody else on the team that for probably the first time in my life, an NFL team brought back essentially the exact same team
Right,
the
it's crazy.
following year. That don't happen. One. Two, they also, you have to consider, they brought back Antonio Brown and Godwin and Evans and Sue and all of their Pro Bowl players who could have gone somewhere else and been the star on the team and made a few more $1 million a year.
Right.
A few.
And when your role players are people like Rob Gronkowski, and yeah, I mean, we can stop there. What was the boy from? Oh man, he's Fournette. Yeah, LSU.
Oh, Leonard Fournette. Yeah,
yeah, LSU.
Him
LSU
too.
boy, man.
Fournette.
love-
I forgot about
yeah.
Leonard Fournette, but he's another good example.
He just got fucked going to Jacksonville. That's all that happened to him.
Yeah.
He just got a lot of, if you go to a team that sucks, has a bad offensive line, and they're giving you the ball 200 times a season,
Yeah.
you won't last.
Yeah. Well, he's in a great situation now. He played great for them last year as well, especially through the playoffs. He was rock solid for them.
What's the equivalent of Tom Brady's influence, though, with you're talking about, right? Right there, right? Yeah.
I mean, it's, again, bringing back the same team, that's going to count for a lot for them.
We're talking about 22 different people coming back to do the
Right.
exact same thing.
And also people who are not on the same side of the football as Tom Brady. The defense came back too,
Of course.
also citing the same reason. Ndamukong Suh, who has stomped on people's heads and kicked people in the balls.
Shout out to Aaron
and
Rodgers.
all kinds of shit. You're right.
Yeah.
All kinds of shit. Ndamukong Suh has been a model citizen since he got with Tom Brady. He did an interview recently extolling the virtues of one Tom Brady. This is Ndamukong Suh. Ndamukong Suh, that's like Antonio Brown acting right. And then also Antonio Brown Up to this scuffle, I didn't see what happened.
Yeah, I
Maybe
didn't
he was
either.
provoked or, you know, and stuff happens at practice, so I'm not really looking too much into that. Up to this point, though, Antonio Brown has been a model citizen, which he had not been
Ever.
Yeah,
because it
maybe
seems
in
to
his
be.
adult life.
It seems
ever.
to be. We should give Mike Tomlin a Nobel Peace Prize.
That's a fact.
Because it sounds like he just was juggling some. Look, man, I don't know what he did, but he just wrecked his car.
Between him,
Someone clean it up.
Yep.
Y'all go pick up Antonio, dry him out. Let's get him back to practice.
yep,
Yeah.
between AB, Roethlisberger's nasty ass,
Same thing. Yeah.
nasty, no good, and Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
We found out later was,
Yeah.
not exactly the most consistent guy, we'll say.
Imagine that locker room. Man.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Mike Tomlin, I feel bad for him.
Mike Tomlin.
Because he was getting a bad rap during
He
this
was.
time.
He was.
And no one else could really do anything with him either.
And good on him for not just going, hey, Ben, AB, and Le'Veon are all maniacs. I'm doing everything I can to get them on the field every week,
That's exactly what
let alone win games.
John Gruden would have done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a Gruden grinder. He's a Gruden grinder. I can't stand John Gruden. He's a Gruden grinder. So, again, they bring back the entirety of the team. They did win the Super Bowl last year in convincing fashion.
Yes.
In convincing fashion. They kicked the Chiefs' ass on both sides of the ball. That was not supposed to happen.
But you didn't see that pass Patrick Mahomes made, man. He was about to fall down and steal incomplete pass that dropped. Oh, my God. If he'd just
Right.
caught that ball, they would have won the game.
Right.
Forget
yeah.
the fact they lost by 17 points.
Forget the fact that Patrick Mahomes ran more yards sideways than he did up the field
Right.
in that game.
Or
'Cause
throwing the football.
Because that defensive line,
Yeah.
that was there. They made a step forward in the Super Bowl, that defensive line. They were playing well up to that point, but that was different.
And shout out to their corners, man. They didn't let Tyreek Hill
Right.
get behind the defense. They jammed up
Kelsey.
Kelsey. Yeah, Kelsey caught a bunch of passes, but he
Yep.
dropped a lot too.
Right.
He had a very, I think he hurt them as much as he helped. There was several third downs where if he'd have caught that pass,
right.
they might have had a chance to
Right.
stay in the game.
Right.
Football is like, to me, football and momentum, it's even worse in football than it is in basketball because you can go on a run in basketball and you can find some mustard to get it back. You can call timeout. You can make adjustments. You can't just burn a timeout in football because you're
Right.
getting your ass whipped.
Right.
You just got to take that ass whipping. And you got someone like Tom Brady, the moment he senses blood, he's been
Psycho
doing this for
Tom.
too long to just blow it.
I'm about to Ndamukong Suh these motherfuckers. I'm about to stomp them out. I'm not playing with none of these boys, man.
Aaron Rodgers had him, man.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have we can come back to that, actually.
yeah.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the third easiest schedule in the league this year, I believe it was something like that. The amount of over 500 teams that they're likely going to play in the regular season, it's not going to be many.
Right.
So they have an easy schedule on top of being returning champions, on top of Tom Brady, on top of bringing back all their Pro Bowl players, on top of having an extra offseason, because if you'll recall, they kind of put that team together to a degree last year. They added Tom. They added a lot of those older guys, Gronk. I think Fournette came over last year as well,
Fournette
right?
came over. Yeah.
AB.
AB.
They brought in all these, older
Sue.
guys, Sue, and then Gronk, if I didn't say him already, and they won with him.
Who was the dude that blew his hand off?
Blew his hand off.
Yeah, he blew like half of his hand off with a what do you call those? It's a firework. Artillery show. Yes. Jason Pierre-Paul.
Oh my God, I forgot about
he,
that.
He was just chilling in Brooklyn, and he, I guess he just forgot it was in his hand or didn't let it go on time, and he blew his fucking hand up. I mean, there's no other way to put it.
Damn.
I shouldn't sugarcoat it. I mean, the
No,
man's missing half a hand.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other way around this.
Jesus.
Actually, it's just 2 fingers, but that's still pretty bad.
For a football player,
But he's on that team.
for a regular person losing 2 fingers, you'd be all right.
Right.
An NFL player,
Ah.
usually it.
Right.
And then he got with Tom Brady.
Right. I was about to say, unless you're that dude that doesn't have an entire hand, that guy who's in the NFL, which is crazy.
Yeah.
He was born that way.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I don't see anybody beating them in the regular season, especially. I don't think it's going to happen. And I think they've got the talent to – the only way they're going to lose games would be right at the end of the season where they're already 15-0 and they start resting all the starters.
Okay. I don't know. I'm going to play the field. I think they're going to go like 14-2.
Okay.
I think there's going to be a game on the road, maybe in the cold, where Tom shows up because he knows how to play that way, but they are a Florida team. Tampa Bay is very humid. It's like being a Houston team or a Miami team. Lots of mosquitoes, very humid, very hot. And then you might find yourself in, I don't know, Denver in February. Well, not February. That'd be the Super Bowl, but, late December or something like that. And you lose a game. I think that's more than likely than they're going undefeated. But if there's one quarterback to do it, well, we've seen him do it before.
And this is the other part of this that I think needs to be acknowledged. The one blemish on the man's record is losing that Super Bowl to quarterback face Eli Manning. Okay? Eli quarterback face Manning. After going 17-0, murdering everybody all regular season. I mean, just blowing teams out all year long.
I'm convinced you have to be someone like that to win. You can't be the guy that's supposed to beat Brady and win. Doesn't work that way. You have to be Nick Foles.
Right,
you have to be the dude that has nothing to lose.
Right, yeah.
If you're Patrick Mahomes, you go up there and I'm going to say it. Patrick Mahomes slightly choked in the Super Bowl this past year. And no matter how hard ESPN and some of these sports programs want to, coat what happened, where it's just, the defensive line, that was all that was going on. Patrick Mahomes showed to me that his game is not complete yet because he had no fallback. Tom Brady, he would never run around like that. Matter of fact, I've never seen Tom Brady be harassed like that before, and that's because he's predicated his game on like just, okay, if I have to do short, quick slants all game long, like 1-2, get 4-yard passes, I will do that to you all game long. And eventually you will relent, and I'll catch you over the top. Patrick Mahomes he's very finesse. He's very gifted. To me, he reminds me of like if Allen Iverson or someone like that, the first time they were really forced with a different defense they'd never seen, they shot a bunch of bricks in that game. Very impressive. They created separation, but they still weren't going in. Like, Max Kellerman can go on ESPN all he wants and talk about how beautiful the passes looked and they were on point, or did you see when he jumped to the side? I mean, he looked like Neo from The Matrix, and then he threw the football. It was still incomplete.
Yeah. There was a lot of that after the Super Bowl this past year.
Shout out to him. I don't mean that in any sort of like he sucks or he played terribly. Not true. But my view of Patrick Mahomes was he had that thing that wasn't just he was the most gifted quarterback in the league. I think some of us thought that he had what Brady had, which was he could get, even in those times where he wasn't supposed to win games, the rest of the team would go, we got Patrick Mahomes. We're going to be okay. And I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Maybe other people did. I didn't see that. I watched Tom Brady go down 27 fucking points in a Super Bowl, and no one batted an eye. For some reason, you thought they'll they'll lose this game, but they're not going out this way. The Chiefs never stopped that bleeding. They just went out that way.
They did just go out.
I blame it on Andy Reid too, but I've seen him do this before, so this isn't the first time.
Yeah. I think Patrick Mahomes does have it.
Yeah, I do too.
Just when he's not across from Tom Brady.
Yeah.
That's it.
I guess what I'm saying,
I think he's clearly the second best.
Could he ever be the GOAT now?
No.
I don't think that's possible.
It's not possible, no.
Because this is not the best iteration of Brady we've ever had.
He would have to the next 3 times they play, Patrick Mahomes would have to win all 3 of those games, and one of them would need to be either a Super Bowl or a conference championship. Can't be the conference championship anymore. So it would have to be the Super Bowl.
No, he'd have to meet him in the Super Bowl.
And beat him.
And I got news. I think if the same teams went back to the Super Bowl, what difference would it be? Tampa's going to be better this year. I agree with you on
Tampa's going to be better. I think Tom is – there's no way he's not sitting at home thinking about that 2007 season and going, I got my chance.
Yeah.
I got my chance this year to – now, if he puts that on his resume, it's already over as far as who the GOAT is.
No,
The
no,
conversation's over.
Listen, Wilt Chamberlain shit.
It's already
there.
over. That would be some that would just be ridiculous.
Wilt Chamberlain meets Bill Russell.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I mean like the championships
Right.
meets just stupid numbers
Right.
that can't
Yeah.
be topped. Because
Exactly.
he already went 16-0 once.
Right.
He lost
Also-
the
17 games this season.
yes,
They added another game. To the
one
regular
less
season.
preseason game.
One less preseason game. So could be in the first 17 game season we see a 17-0 team, and then it probably never happens again for as long as we're alive.
I think that's possible. Yeah. That's a lot of games to win, though, man.
I know.
Injuries,
I know.
and weather.
A
and,
lot can happen.
you know, Godwin could start dropping some passes. We could have one of those games.
Mhm.
Remember, they got blown out by the Saints, opening night.
Yeah.
You know, and the Cowboys are going to be coming into this game really primed to do some things. I finally started watching a little bit of Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Or at least listen to the audio version of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Don't count out my Cowboys, man. Look at that.
Don't count them out of what?
I'll say this again.
Don't
Look,
count them out of what exactly?
I'll tell you. You know why there's a hole in the top of the Cowboy Stadium? That way, God Almighty, that way Yahweh can see through the top.
Mm-hmm.
It was sending them.
Watch the Cowboy. Yeah, watch the Cowboys play, man. We even
Listen,
have
man.
the Hail Mary was invented in Dallas. You know that?
I know.
Roger Staubach was the Catholic, and they had no prayer winning the game, and he went Hail Mary, Hail Mary, you know, grace, the Lord is with me, Mother of God. He threw the ball, and Drew Pearson come down with it, and then the famous announcement, "Oh my God! Oh my God! He caught it!" And he clearly pushed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because back then you could just—it's like basketball. You could tackle Michael Jordan,
Right.
and maybe they call, okay, that's a foul.
Listen, I'm not counting the Cowboys out of winning the division.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with me. Sorry, that's going to haunt me. I got it wrong. Yeah, I'm a Catholic. I'm supposed to know these things.
Right. Yeah, that's a fact. I have the division. Yes. Anything past that?
Listen, you're underestimating Dak Prescott. This man has been working on his hip thrust.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good old hip
This man is
twist
gonna
comes.
metaphorically
Yeah.
fuck Tom Brady out there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
This man's about to
Yeah.
throw for 425
man.
yards.
Yep, and a
Yeah.
losing effort. He's probably going to throw for 425 yards. Yep, and Brady's going to throw for 7.
I do think the Cowboys receivers, in my opinion, I swear to you, if I had a team and I was going forward, I actually like the Cowboys receivers. Like mind you, if Tom Brady was my quarterback in both circumstances, I like a young CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper. I just think that team is constructed. You know, it's constructed in a way to where they're going to. I don't know. That's an older team Tampa has. I don't think people realize that's not Gronk in his prime.
Right.
And Antonio Brown last year was just a guy coming in and playing really well for a guy coming in without a playbook, without the off-season timing, the weight of the world expecting him to fail. People expected at no point in time when you heard stories about he's living at Tom Brady's property and he's hanging out with Tom Brady and his wife, and they've got their
Staying in
kids,
the
and they're
guest house
catching
and-
bass in the backyard.
Yeah.
No one thought that was going to work, right? I just thought Tom really wants to win.
That's it.
That's what I thought. But then somehow along this way, I'm watching these press conferences after the Super Bowl is over with, and I'm like, these guys completely believed they were going to win the Super Bowl. Like, they don't seem to have had much doubt they were going to win these games, even against Green Bay when I think Tom threw 3 interceptions in the second half. And I still never thought Green Bay was going to win the game. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers got the ball all the way down to the 5-yard line on a 3rd down.
And what he did, man.
And, and I still didn't think they were going to win the game.
Yeah. Aaron
Neither
choked.
did their coach, obviously.
Aaron
Yeah.
choked.
Send the field goal kicker in.
They both choked. Aaron Rodgers choked. He had nothing but field in front of him.
Well, you see, the problem is, Ty, he's never had the recruitment abilities.
Right.
Because we know Tom had so much pull in New England with Bill Belichick.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I really don't want to hear it. Aaron Rodgers has been on talented team after talented team after talented team and has 1 Super Bowl to show for it. That's the same amount Patrick Mahomes has.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Well, that leads me to my topic. I was watching an interview done by, it was a Bleacher Report, right? My brain tells me that Draymond Green and Kevin Durant got into an argument in a game.
Mm-hmm.
Draymond Green doesn't respect KD as a man, and called a grown man a bitch on national television at the end of a game when Draymond made a mistake. Now, maybe my eyes are failing me, but just a couple years ago, I remember Draymond blaming this situation on Kevin Durant. He said throughout the week leading up to that moment, KD was walking around the locker room. He was answering questions to the media, indicating that he might leave Golden State, and therefore baiting, almost like he was priming the atmosphere with this animosity around this topic about free agency, him joining, and was being a little bit standoffish, not talking to people. And Draymond addressed it in that moment when they got into an argument.
Yep.
Okay, my brain tells me that's what really happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But the universe seems to be flipping the story. And the story now, according to Kevin Durant and Draymond Green, is that, I'm just going to say it,
Yeah, go ahead.
the cabal there at the Warriors organization somehow pitted these two men against each other. And even worse, they wouldn't allow them to resolve it as men.
Right.
And therefore, they made this so toxic that KD had no other choice but to leave Golden State.
Right.
And my honest opinion on this is those championships are so tainted that they don't have a choice but to talk this way about it.
Yeah.
They even went further than this. They both agreed that this was okay, what I'm about to say is going to blow your mind. They said that what they accomplished against those Cavs teams, specifically with Kevin Durant on the team, was the best basketball had ever been. It was the highest, not just like the best team, that this was the best era of basketball. That was the phrase they both used. So again, if you think I'm making up this spinning narrative, no, that's the point they wanted to make. They wanted those years not to be tainted. So how do we do that?
Yep.
Let's tell a story about two friends trying to work this out. An organization got between the two of us and made us hate each other. Right? Let's do that instead of the truth, which is we all have to take accountability for this shit. And you chose to go join a 73-9 team. You were guaranteed to win. Everyone knew it. I think Kawhi Leonard. I think LeBron James. I think fucking Anthony Davis. There was several players you could have put on that Golden State Warriors team, and they would have put the team over the top.
Can you imagine Anthony Davis with Stephen Clay?
Yeah. I mean, and I'm being modest. I think there's more. But let's just say there's 4 other players.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant didn't do something only Kevin Durant could have went down there and accomplished. Joel Embiid. There's a whole that team was so, if anything, their squabbling was the reason they took so long to knock out certain teams.
Yeah.
I watched them against Houston look like, Houston started to believe they could beat them because they wouldn't put them out. You even had James Harden playing the best he's ever played in the playoffs against them, and that wasn't by coincidence. That's what I think happened. But I think in 10 years we're going to remember this as Kevin Durant was so hated by the general fan base, which is the interesting thing to me. It's not the media. The average basketball fan hates the super team era.
I've been surprised at how much I've heard other people say this, how common this sentiment is. I was starting to feel like I was the only one, man.
No, I think
hated this super team nonsense.
Have you seen the ratings? They're going down.
Yeah.
And you can blame that on many things, but I don't think it's all political innuendo and stuff. I think a lot of it is foregone conclusions.
Yeah. People always try to bring up like the Magic, Kareem, Worthy Lakers. Oh, that was a super team. Like they drafted Magic Johnson. They drafted James Worthy. They traded for Kareem.
And the Boston Celtics existed.
With
What we're talking about was nothing competitive.
This is if Larry Bird went to the Lakers.
Exactly. Or if I don't know, Reggie Miller joined the Bulls.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I
Right.
can't beat them, so I'm gonna join them.
Uh-huh.
That's just that's a phrase for elementary children and not professional sports. That's not the way this is supposed to go.
Right.
I can't beat them, so no.
If KD already had a championship, it would have been different.
Right.
The fact that he didn't win and that he lost to them the previous year after being up 3-1, and everyone said it was because you and Russ can't win together, and you went out and called everyone a fucking idiot. I'm quoting him now. Anyone that thinks that him and Russell Westbrook can't win a championship don't know fucking anything about basketball. That's what he said to everybody. And come to find out, that was what he felt too.
And then he left.
Exactly.
Right after that.
But I feel like the same spinning mechanism, he
Yeah.
brought up Russell Westbrook too and compared Draymond Green to Russell Westbrook because you guys are constantly willing to cross the line slightly.
I would also compare Russ to Draymond.
Okay.
Not in a complimentary
Right.
way.
I think he meant like both of these guys have personalities that, again, I think this is all part of the spinning mechanism.
Yep.
Russ didn't really respect me. Draymond didn't really respect me. So it must be because they're a little crazy, but in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm being spun again. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And for them to blame Steve Kerr, who's the
In the
most
organization.
non-confrontational person, maybe in the entirety of the NBA right now, and the organization for clearly something that happened between the two of you. And
Right.
now you're sitting in front of each other trying to convince us that it was Steve Kerr's fault? How?
Well, no, this is what Kevin Durant said. He said it didn't occur to him until he watched The Last Dance. And he said he was watching the way that Phil Jackson handled when Scottie Pippen was taken out of the game and he didn't get the last shot, and Scottie was having the issues with the general manager, that Phil set him aside, and the team set him aside and told him, "You're fucking up, man." Now, here's my take on this. I don't remember watching that in The Last Dance, because Phil was a hippie. Okay, Phil, some of his tactics were like, okay, Dennis Rodman, you go do some cocaine, go to Vegas, have a good time. I'll send Mike to get you. We got a game in 3 weeks. I mean, I don't think it was as. And again, Steve Kerr was on that team. So to me, there's an element of like, okay, I don't know how much you can take from a documentary about situations like that.
Right.
The other thing was, and this was important to me, which was if someone actually pulled Kevin Durant aside and called him, "You diva, you idiot for signing the contract," because that's what they told Scottie Pippen. Michael Jordan walked right up to Scottie Pippen and just said, "Hey, man, you ain't doing right." He goes, "Well, I don't have fucking Jordans, and I'm not $1 billion brand. You can't talk to me that way, Mike." And Mike says, "I don't give a fuck. You want to leave? Go. There's the door." Do you think Kevin Durant could have handled that?
Kevin Durant wouldn't have
That's
made
what he
it
said
out
he
of-
wanted. That's what he said he wanted. But I don't think he could have
Durant
handled
wouldn't
it.
have made it 2 years in the 90s NBA or the 2000s NBA.
I just found it interesting he went to that.
Yep.
And again,
No shit.
I feel like he's trying to win brownie points with the people he thinks he doesn't care about. You're going to only use the Bulls as an analogy if you're trying to reach real basketball fans.
Yeah.
You're trying to make a point. It's like bringing up the Lakers with Kobe and Shaq, or the Spurs, the Bulls. Anytime you make a reference to those teams or the Celtics and those organizations, those coaches, those general managers, those players, the atmosphere, the everything about that, the cadence of the way the players respected each other, you're tapping yourself back into something you claim you don't give a shit about.
Right.
He says he doesn't give a shit about cliches and conventional wisdom and that sort of thing.
Or competing.
Right.
I hate competing, man. Oh, I know, J. Cole. It's so stressful.
The guy
I
that
know.
claps back on, the guy that claps back at like my 18-year-old little brother on Twitter.
Yeah, with burner accounts.
That guy wanted to have a transparent conversation in front of everyone in the locker room where someone walked up to him and said, "Hey, K, you fucked up, man. You too, Draymond. You're sorry, motherfucker, too." I don't think either one of those guys could have
Would
handled
take
that.
it.
So
None of them would.
So what do you think? Draymond is a max contract player for the Golden State Warriors.
Right.
So after this interview, what happens when he tries to go back into that locker room?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Stephen
think
Clay,
he's gone, man.
Stephen Clay is light skinned, so I feel like people don't take them seriously enough. But Stephen Clay ain't no suckers either.
No.
They were talked about like they had no
That had nothing to do with the championships that they won before Durant got there,
right.
and would have won without Draymond Green. Period. If Draymond Green wasn't on that team, they would have done exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Bob Myers actually said it. He said, the reason I wasn't terrified to lose Kevin Durant is because I had Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry.
Right. Yeah.
That I didn't think we were just going to, sell it up the creek and say, okay, senorita, we don't give a shit about championships anymore.
Yeah.
No, we still had contingency plans because we always figured he was a rental.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he knew that and they knew it going in. And they told him, hey, look, we are entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley. We can make you a very rich man. We can win you some championships. And actually, KD's net value doubled when he was with. I mean, he's got shares of Twitter.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So we can't. We're only being stupid if we don't count in those things. But he's not willing. If he admitted to that this was a way to extend his brand, and he could say, well, the market was already the market was already kind of ruined in L.A. because he would just be another dude going to Los Angeles. Look at Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard he'd have to win several championships.
Yeah.
In order to get the street cred in Los Angeles that I think he wants here. Although if he just switched to the Lakers tomorrow and won 2, I think people would give it to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think KD's seen that. It was like, go to the Golden State Warriors. That's a guaranteed win. And I get around some very powerful people. I build a culture. And he benefited from that. And I'm not mad at him if that's the case. But don't act like it's because you can see clearer than everyone else.
Right.
And you're enlightened
Everybody
and everyone else
is
is just, everyone else is just old heads.
Do you think Draymond is just trying to get away from Golden State, or is he trying to get to Brooklyn?
Well, that's a good point. Or is he trying to get to Phoenix? Or is he trying to get to the Lakers? That's another possibility. He is a clutch sports agent, player.
So would you just bet against? Would you just bet on the field?
I think that he was on the trading block this past year, and he didn't like that.
I'm sorry, Draymond, but again, like these NBA players now. This is why I have trouble watching basketball at this point, because these guys getting these interviews. I wish I had never watched a single interview with Kevin Durant. Then I could enjoy watching him play basketball, I think.
Right.
I couldn't enjoy watching Draymond Green play basketball regardless, because watching him play basketball, I have flashbacks to Sabine Pass, Texas. Okay. Shooting the ball off the goddamn backboard, hit the side of the backboard, triple single again. Then he averaged, 3 points this season or something stupid?
Right. No, he's
on a $160 million contract?
Yes.
They should have been traded it. The only reason your ass is still over here is because you friends with these 2 light-skinned brothers. That's it.
Ticket TV, shout out to him. He was going in on this. He was like, I'm tired of hearing about, Draymond Green's potential, or he goes, he never had the ability to be the guy you thought he was. He couldn't average 10 rebounds. He couldn't average 10 points, and he can't take a team and put them over the top. And he was considered to be that guy. And I would say that his role on the team, minus an amazing shooting backcourt, infinitely went down over time. Yeah.
Who's better, Draymond or Patrick Beverly?
Man, that's actually a good point.
I
would say Draymond. I would say Draymond right now, or do you mean like at their peaks?
Going into next season.
I think I'd rather have Pat Bev going into next season.
I'd rather have Pat Bev too. So clearly not a $160 million player. If I'd rather have Patrick Beverly than you.
No. Yeah. And I don't want to be on a team with a dude that might just go on a big podcast and shit on everybody I work with.
Yeah. Right.
Could you imagine? Right. I don't know how, because the shit he's talking about, again, you said Steve Kerr. I thought of Stephen Clay too. They had this conversation as if those 2 guys weren't on the team.
Right, yeah.
You wouldn't even have thought, and that's Steph's team.
Yeah.
It was never Kevin Durant's
100%.
team.
Always Steph's team, always. That is Steph's organization.
I would say it was even the second dude to me was Clay. It's not about who was the best player. I think this is an overestimated claim here. Tim Duncan was not at all the best player on the last championship the Spurs had. But I would say that Kawhi Leonard and Tony Parker, who ascended that year, they learned a lot from having Tim on the floor with them.
Yeah.
Because he brings a mental energy to a team. You know, Tom Brady, I don't think this is the best we've ever seen Tom Brady, but I think he's mentally just as in tune to make players around him better. Steph's the dude like that on the on Golden State.
My prayers for Klay Thompson's health. I hope he stays healthy this year, because what I need to see the Golden State Warriors, I need to see Steph and Klay on the court a lot this season, and I want to see him in the playoffs, and I want to see him play Brooklyn.
Look, I think the Clippers won't do. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to get knocked out in the first or second round, because I don't think Kawhi's going to play this year. And I'm not buying the fool's gold at the other Los Angeles team, because I really just don't. First of all, LeBron James is going to be 720 years old next year. He's coming off of 2 injuries, and Russell Westbrook.
Yep.
Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, and LeBron James.
Yep.
Frank
Don't forget Carmelo,
Vogel.
man. Don't forget Carmelo, man.
Carmelo.
That's some respect.
No bubble. Yeah, good luck. But, yeah.
I don't have too high expectations for the Los Angeles Lakers this year either.
So I guess what I'm saying is I'd like to see that myself.
Yes.
I might pull for Golden State, and I can't believe I'm saying that.
Who's the best option for I liked Golden State before Kevin Durant went. I liked them a lot, actually.
Yeah.
What's the best option for Draymond Green trade for Golden State?
I mean, I really think that's a trade with the Sixers involving Ben Simmons and Draymond Green. Maybe Draymond can go to that Sixers locker room and be a good influence around Joel Embiid or somebody like that. I don't know. Maybe so. But I do think Ben Simmons would be reborn in Golden State.
Oh, 100%.
Ben Simmons with Golden State is
because apparently Ben Simmons and the
nasty.
Sixers relationship is so bad that they're almost willing to do it. They just want to part ways.
And I believe they have similar contracts as far as per year dollar amount, so it wouldn't be.
And Ben Simmons is way better than
Far better, yes. And
Draymond's ever dreamed of being.
He won't need to shoot.
No.
He won't
on
need
that
to
team,
shoot.
no.
He won't need to shoot.
It's perfect.
Drive and kick and play damn good defense on the perimeter, and they could win like those 3 versus Brooklyn's 3.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
You can actually put Steph on the bench sometimes and let Ben run the point.
Yeah.
And then you can go to a more bully ball lineup where you're actually like physically pushing it down people's throats.
Yeah.
Something that I don't think anyone's ever given them before. Kevin Durant wasn't that. I mean, Kevin Durant's a mismatch, but no one's ever going to think, oh, my God, Kevin Durant's going to really bully us tonight.
Yeah.
No, he's going to pull up in your fucking face. He's going to hit shots. That's for sure.
If you put Simmons at the point, he brings it up. You run a screen and roll. He drives. And
he kicks to Steph and Klay.
And you have Steph in one corner, Klay on the opposite wing.
And some random dude that can probably still shoot threes wide the fuck open. Yeah, I think they'll be all right.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for next NBA season. I think I'm not gonna give my picks for the finals yet. I want to see some more developments during the off season, but beginning of the season.
If Brooklyn's completely healthy, you would assume they come out the East, right?
Out of the East, yeah. I'm
just not sold on Milwaukee. I know what they just did, but no one was sold on the Raptors to some degree.
Right.
Yeah. Assuming Golden State would be fully loaded. So that's kind of the way I'm putting it, I suppose.
Okay. Yeah, probably probably Brooklyn, and out of the West is going to be wide open again, I think.
I think so.
Denver, if Murray stays healthy, if Thompson stays healthy, we'll see what happens with Kawhi, but probably won't play next year. So, yeah, next year's Western Conference is going to be right back to being nasty.
Yeah.
All right. Want to hit some current events real quick?
Yeah, let's hit some current events.
Sha'Carri Richardson came in dead fucking last.
Oh, man.
Now, this is somebody that's been throwing pod shots at the Olympics. At the same time, she's also been commercially seen as what was it? She's been on Kanye's music video. Well, not music video, but his ads.
Right. I saw the
as this
Nike
uplifting person that so courageous.
So courageous
for what she's done
for smoking weed. Oh, they need to change those rules, those Olympics. the International Sports Committee
For this one
that
person
has to take
here.
into account international law. You know,
Right.
Like, is weed just legal in China?
No.
Are they in China?
I'm seeing the same.
They're performing in China. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
they're competing in China.
Yeah.
So maybe a consideration to make.
Yes.
Is this
in-
American?
in Japan,
Oh,
in Japan, yeah.
excuse me,
Japan.
Japan. The world is supposed to just
a place that we
shift
blew up with
underneath
bombs.
You.
You know?
The world's just supposed to shift underneath you because
We literally
We can't-
killed millions
yeah.
of. Well, okay.
Yeah.
The Western world to stop World War II. I want to put it that way because it makes it sound. I mean, these were collective decisions made by other international.
Yes.
You know, Britain and different parts of Russia and stuff was in favor of what happened here. Millions of people died.
Yep.
Mhm.
Could you imagine going over to Tokyo and going, you know what? We're gonna just rook you guys one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Our girl, she smokes weed. Deal with it.
deal with
Yep.
it. Fuck you
Straight
guys.
up.
We don't care if you've got it legalized or not. That's
No.
not our
Yeah.
problem.
And I feel like I hear the same. I don't want to speak about world events. We can jump right back to this, but I feel like I'm seeing the same level of flippancy
right.
with this Afghanistan situation, where some people are actually thinking, "Oh, it's so great we're not the world police anymore." Well, it was never a good thing. This is again this is some really messy business we're talking about here. We live in the world of, I hate to say this, but here in America, this is a free country, and we spend all our time scrolling on dating apps and
Mhm.
liking Instagram posts.
Mhm.
Yes.
We have absolutely no real concept of what's going on in the wider functions of national security
Yeah.
and international politics and the ramifications of what could happen if you know, what we call small adjustments might be world-changing events
Yes.
in different cultures.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that first world problems might not be a strong enough term anymore.
No,
I
it
think
definitely
we've
isn't.
gone beyond that.
No, people are dying right now
Right.
as a result of
Right.
this ignorance. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
No, yeah, let's just pull out.
Yeah.
Like, do we have a plan?
Yeah.
Like
Right,
over a few months to
I mean, I'm in favor of wearing a condom, but what do you mean? Come on,
Right,
you just gonna
like-
walk out the room?
Right, yeah. Like, no, we have to get out of there eventually. That has to happen. We can't be there for the rest of time, but maybe a 6-month withdrawal execution plan or something like that. No,
Right.
no. Just pack them up,
Also, there's.
Time to leave.
Can I tell you what the
and then everybody's getting,
big ignorance is?
it's gotten
is-
very violent.
is a lack of understanding about what these different people want in these situations. Let's say you have an opinion on what's going on in Afghanistan, and your opinion is you're in Los Angeles and the people in Afghanistan are in Los Angeles,
Mm-hmm.
and it's no different than the police escorting their way out of the city or something.
Mm.
Yep.
That is not a good analogy, but that's the one everyone seems to be making, right? Defund the
man.
police
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
in the Middle East.
Yeah.
No. That's not. Again, that's a more nuanced conversation probably to have
Well, I mean,
in our country, but let alone, in a part of the world where ideological differences and different regimes and even Muslims are terrorized by the Taliban within
Yeah.
Afghanistan. Matter of
Right.
fact, they are the number one victim of these regime changes. I
Right.
should say.
Yes.
So
yeah.
even the people that think they're protecting, again, it's coming from a place of just
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
just silly optimism.
Yeah.
Too much John Lennon imagine and nonsense like that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Kendrick Lamar is dropping a new album soon. He's finally coming back.
What's the
and-
caveat with that?
Well, it's going to be his last album with Top Dog Entertainment. It's going to be a little sad for me to see that relationship
moved.
end because Kendrick and TDE are almost,
Synonymous
it's
with
Kobe
each
and
other.
Phil. It's Kobe and Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
Top Dog and Kendrick is Kobe and Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
Is the relationship there. But Phil is holding Kobe back at this point, is the way it's looking from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So Kendrick hit a local maximum, it looks like. So he said, this is going to be my final album with TDE. I don't know what he's going to do after then.
Maybe
But-
that retreat for a while.
Yeah.
But if I'm being
This is
honest,
interesting.
again, like Kendrick could not release another album and
It's-
will still be the best of his generation, bar none, period.
hands
in
down.
most hardcore rap fans' view.
Yeah. But that's interesting for like what will happen with, I guess, Q? What's going to happen with
I wonder what's going to happen.
J-Rock,
I love everybody over there.
What's going on in that situation for him to
Schoolboy Q,
decide that
J-Rock, Isaiah Rashad,
this is the final one for
SZA,
his deal, and he's going to peace out? Like, what's...
Absol. Absol hasn't released since 20.
I can see
16?
Isaiah sticking around with
He just
TDE right now
released.
since he just released. I see SZA probably sticking around, but the real question is with Black Hippie.
Yeah.
The four of them.
And
What's
I'm sorry.
what's
The
kinda,
reason we never got our Black Hippie album that we always wanted
Yeah.
is because they, Top Dog would always go, "Oh, it's hard to align schedules." And then I went when that Revenge of the Dreamers came out, and it
Yeah.
was like 40 different
You can't
rappers put
use
together,
that
20
anymore.
song
Yeah.
album together, all on the same team. No,
Mhm.
you can't tell me that no more. You can't tell me you couldn't coordinate schedules.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. So that's interesting. That's
Y'all
interesting.
grew
that
up
we got to that
together
point.
and
Yeah.
shit. Y'all know where each other live.
Exactly.
How many albums do you think you have to put out? Because I'm just thinking about the lexicon
Mhm.
of musicians over the years. And the vast majority of the time, it isn't this huge,
Catalog.
banger after banger.
Yeah.
The Beatles only lasted 5-6 years.
Yeah,
Mhm.
most all-time greats have a shorter run.
Mhm.
Kendrick, I don't know how many albums. I would just say if you can get 2 classics on your record,
Yeah.
like
I mean, that
2
gives,
classic albums on your resume as a rapper,
Mhm.
I think that puts you in a different category. And then
Right.
we have to start, from there we have to start going, okay, Jay-Z has 6, 7 classic albums.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's the different one among the different ones. He's the Tom
Right.
Brady and all this.
Sure.
Yeah. This is an obscure analogy, but I do still think that it's worth pointing out that you take an actor like Tom Hanks.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Tom Hanks has been in some exceptional movies, exceptional actor. He's probably been in 50, 60 movies.
Right,
You take an actor like Daniel Day-Lewis,
right.
who's only been in like 16 movies his entire career.
Mhm.
But some of the, I think, in my opinion, Daniel Day-Lewis has the most impressive film career in the English-speaking world. I think in 100 years you're going to go back as an actor, if you have any sense,
Yeah.
and you're able to get over your own, ego and willingness to just believe in your own fame and hype. Because if there's one thing Daniel Day was, he didn't give a shit about none of
He
that.
dropped classic after classic after classic every time.
And that's what Kendrick Lamar to me.
Right.
Mhm.
That
Yep.
seems to be his avenue.
Yeah.
So I
agree.
guess I wouldn't really care if Jay-Z had more albums.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean he's greater, because that has a different concept for other people. But I would say, again, I don't know. Terrell Owens. You said you've seen. I'll let you tell that story.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I will say this: gun to my head, Randy Moss was a little bit better than T.O. Because Randy Moss could do things that no one else has ever been able to do again. Even if he only did it for 5 years of his 16-year career.
Yeah.
Those 5 years were so incredible that the two highest scoring offenses of all time before we really started to throw the ball more, both had Randy Moss as their lead receiver.
Yep.
And that's not a coincidence.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
And then you want to end with the last one?
Oh, what was it? I don't even remember.
So I'm hoping that some of you OnlyFans girls have saved up your money.
Oh, they didn't.
No.
I know.
Hey, we got to smoke, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
No, we can talk this topic.
That's okay.
Yeah, y'all go ahead. Yeah, so
I hope.
OnlyFans be removing adult content from their site
Mm-hmm.
after pressure from their business partners and I believe
Yeah.
banks, they said as well.
Yes.
Who they got tired of the bullshit. They're trying to go mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing with it is like OnlyFans as a company, this is where they've made the bulk of their
This
money.
is their bread and butter. This
So is going away from it really going to be good for business for them? I'm
They're
not sure.
hoping to be able to make an app as well to go along with this. They're
Right,
basically they're trying to make themselves the next YouTube.
Right, they're trying to.
That's what they're trying to get to.
But I don't. I'm
There's no
sorry.
possible way you've made all of your.
Damn, boy. People can't even see me, cuz.
Hey, man. This is all good, bro. It's all good, man. This is my favorite podcast. This is all that's going on.
Yeah, man. So I'm a spark up here in a second.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, OnlyFans can't
This
do
is-
adult content. Kevin Samuels predicted this
He did.
like 4-5 months ago. And then yesterday when the
Dude,
news
I've been
dropped,
saying this is gonna
he
happen
just said-
forever, man.
He
This
just
is-
he said when you know what he said? He posted the link to the story. OnlyFans will be getting rid of adult content, and he said winter is here.
Okay. I am sucking.
Yeah,
Winter is here.
Mm-hmm.
It's finna get cold outside.
it's fixing to
shit.
get cold
enjoy
outside.
that.
Light me up.
Enjoy that waiter
What's that?
job.
Get your light me up real quick.
All right, folks. I'm gonna close us out.
No, man. The one point I have to make about that
Yeah, go ahead.
is they're trying to get sponsors.
Right, that's what it is.
You
yeah.
can't get, you're not going to be able to. Geico's not going to have commercials in between flicking the
No,
bean.
I'm
you know?
with
Yeah.
you. I'm totally with you. My thing is,
I'm just pointing an
it
elephant
might
out
be
in the room here.
It might be too late for them to make this switch. They might
Oh,
have
no, they're
gotten
fucked.
too big in that space already to go like,
Agreed.
oh,
Yeah.
we're gonna go clean now. Like
I just don't think they were ever a company that was going to change the game like
the
that.
name
Yes.
OnlyFans is synonymous
Fits
with
perfectly.
it's synonymous with pornography at this point. Like that's what it is. Say OnlyFans. That's what people. She has an OnlyFans account. You go. Is it like? Is she fucking? Like is she fucking?
That's
No,
the main
she's
thing.
got
Is she fucking? Cause
Right.
I'll pay if she fucking. She ain't fucking. No, I'm not interested.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I don't
I
know.
mean, I don't know, man.
We gonna
There's
see.
only one Vegas, okay?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for some reason, we briefly bought into this idea for 2 years that the internet was,
Yeah.
and it's not. It's not, and not
No.
not when it comes to monetization.
Yeah.
Otherwise, and I'm being honest here. Otherwise, then what's the point in stocks?
Yeah.
You know, all these people love cryptocurrencies. Do you want your favorite crypto person have videos of them fucking masturbating everywhere? I mean, again, what they're bumping into is the people that actually run the world.
Yes.
Right.
And they're
right.
going, hang on, no prostitutes
this.
and all this sort of thing. You guys can go make money, but you're not going to
Tie your name.
This isn't going to be $1 billion industry.
No.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just telling you
Right.
that's what's going on.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, agreed.
there's no great conspiracy. It's
Yeah.
that's that
That's
simple.
it.
Anyway.
And
That's
and
it.
by the way, 80% of these people, I've seen polls suggest that this is women that agree with this because you're what's happening. My view, sorry, okay, hate me if you want to, is if you are in a situation. I went to work the other day. All right, beautiful girl walks in. She had a teddy bear in one hand and a dog in the other, and she was with a 57-year-old man,
Mhm.
and he was sleeping with, get this, that was his daughter's best friend. Okay? And there was one person that tried to go, oh, you're just being cold. Come on, oh my God. And then I was like, really? And they're like, yeah, you got a point here. I'm like, so, okay, I found the line.
Mm-hmm.
I found the line where you can admit that, get your shit together.
Yeah.
If you guys can look at men in the eye and go, fucking make your bed, clean your room,
Yeah.
right? If that works for you, you go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly think humans are I mean, no one should have to eat a shit. We're all eating shit sandwiches here,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
We've all had to do things,
Yeah.
I mean, again, I've seen people die at work before,
You have.
okay? Don't tell me about what's politically correct.
Mhm.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It's not about
Man.
what it shows.
No.
Anyway, all right, folks, we're gonna close it there.
All right.
So again, we'd like to give a special thanks to Outside In Theater.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate all the support and help from you guys, and we're gonna be working together further soon.
Yeah.
Again, next week is gonna be the final show. It's probably gonna be me and Cole because Victor had a
Yeah,
work
after.
thing come up.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be me and Cole. We're gonna close out the month, and then again we'll take about 3 weeks off, and then we'll be back. And we're planning on, again taking the time, making use of it, trying to improve the set, the show, the format, everything. So we'll have something good for you guys when we come back.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right, guys, take care. And also, please, we're going to be putting out some stuff on our regular YouTube channel
Yes.
in the meantime as well.
Yes.
A couple reactions here and there,
Yes.
some poetry interpretation, a few things.
Yep.
So check that out. Brain versus Universe, YouTube, Bipedal Odyssey.